is Haniyyah Salie. I'm 35 years old. I was diagnosed with breast cancer on the 25th of November 2015. I remember the day clearly when I felt the lump. That Thursday night I felt 2 lumps, and I thought it was the steam of the shower that caused the glands in my breast to expand. When I asked my husband just to check if I'm being paranoid, he also felt something, and then I called my sister and she said I need to I have a mammogram and scans done. And then the next day I went and I had the mammogram done and ultrasound done, and then they confirmed that there were 3 lumps, 3 tumors actually, and then they recommended that I see a breast specialist immediately. So that was the Friday. The Monday I went to the breast specialist, and he sent me for the biopsy that evening, and then the next Wednesday after that, 25th of November, he confirmed that it was breast cancer. And I remember when he said those words to me, the first thing that popped into my mind was, after this I need to go to Pick n Pay to get nappies for my baby. My sister had prepared, my twin sister, she's a medical doctor, so she had prepared me for worst case scenario, which was worst case scenario when they gave us the news. So I didn't cry. It was more like an outer body experience. So you sit there thinking someone's BSing you and it's a dream, you're going to wake up and everything's going to be fine. But when reality did sink in, I needed to just let go and to accept that I had breast cancer. I was the first one on both sides of the family that was ever diagnosed with breast cancer. So not only was it a shock for me, it was a shock for our entire family. My kids were 3 and 2 at the time. So they were my reason for everything that I've done. It's been for them. And I had the double mastectomy about 2 weeks after I was diagnosed, 9 days in hospital. And then when I came out of hospital, we went on a little break before the chemotherapy started. Chemo started on the 18th of January 2016, and it was 18 weeks of intensive chemotherapy, and I'm currently on Herceptin and tamoxifen for 10 years. What I've learned from the journey is that what I benefit from this journey was that my family and friends have become so much closer. You just appreciate life more. I'm more in the moment. I'm more appreciative of little things. Like sitting in the traffic is not a mission for me. Fetching children from school is not a mission. Nothing is too difficult. And if I could, it doesn't only apply to breast cancer patients or sick patients, but the reality is one day we're all going to die. But until that day, all the other days we are going to be living. And I just want whoever's been diagnosed with breast cancer, whoever's going through any illness, is just to live in the moment and appreciate and just friends will always be there for you. You actually learn who your true friends are and who your closest family members are, and they'll just, everything will work out. Chemotherapy is, it's not a fun thing. I remember every single session that I went to, and I remember every feeling and every emotional feeling, every physical feeling that I experienced during chemotherapy. But what gets you through it is your faith, it's your family, it's your friends, there's a lot of people rooting for you, and you can't let yourself down and you can't let them down, especially your children. And there were some days where I thought, how am I going to get through all of this? And you go into survival mode, or sometimes I was even in autopilot where like you just go with the flow and you accept and you let it be. But for me, this experience, like you always ask why me, but everything has a perfect timing and a perfect place, and everything has a reason for happening. And when this happened to me, I think I realize now when I look back, it's like the Almighty was preparing me for that day. And even though I'm still undergoing treatment, in my mind the cancer's not there anymore. It's not going to come back. It will never come back to me or to my family, and that's what I pray for every single day. Sometimes I was telling a friend of mine, sometimes I wait for the pathologists to phone and say that they made a huge error and with the diagnosis and with the results, and they're like really, really sorry. And I think if they did that, maybe I'd definitely forgive them, but I would get over it. But I'm still waiting till today that someone's going to phone me and say it's a big mistake, they messed up the files, and they're really, really sorry. If I could ever speak to cancer, I would. Okay, firstly, if I had the choice of speaking to cancer, I wouldn't speak to cancer. Because when I'm angry with someone, I give you the silent treatment, so I wouldn't speak to cancer. But maybe after a tamoxifen tablet, I'd backhand cancer and drop kick it somewhere. But if I could speak to cancer and tell cancer, say something to it, I would say that you tried to break me, you didn't succeed, so just leave me and my family alone.